Is raising concerns. We were just talking about this before the break. Of widely popular weight loss drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy. As you can see, Dr. Todd Ellern is with us today. As you know, he's with South Sierra Health. And all of a sudden, you know, not all of a sudden, people have been talking about these for a while, right? So the worry here is when patients who are taking these drugs have certain medical procedures. Is that the concern area?
That's right. What we've seen is that, and the way this works is the drugs slow gastric emptying, so it keeps the food in. It doesn't get through the system. It's one of the ways that we decrease weight. And the problem is if you're going to go through a procedure, especially that has deeper anesthesia, there's a risk of aspiration. That's when food or liquids go from the mouth into the lungs or airways, and that's a problem.
And that's not a good thing, right?
That's right.
It's a small study, right?
It is a small study, but listen, there were almost 1 million patients, about 800,000 patients from Cedars-Sinai. They were, again, it was an observational study. This was electronic medical records. And what they showed is that in the patients that received these GLP-1 agonists, like Wegovy, like Ozempic, Mounjaro, they were at about a 50% increased risk of having aspirating pneumonia if they had an upper endoscopy. If they had both an upper and lower colonoscopy, it was about twice the risk as those that didn't. But remember, it's an observational study, and still the risk was low, less than 1% in both groups.
Okay, and that's good, but do we know how big the concern might be because it is so small, or no, or what?
Well, I think so far, the anesthesia guidance has changed. And what's really critical for patients to do is contact your healthcare provider, either gastroenterologist or surgeon, probably a couple of weeks before the procedure to say, do I need to stop my injectable or oral GLP-1 agonist? I think that's
worth
key.
talking about. Good conversations to have. You know, as we said, the medications by themselves, they're just growing in popularity, so much so that they're really hard to get. So how much do we still have to learn about the potential side effects or even long-term effects? And I'm going to add a little parenthetical part here. Oprah talks about it. Whoopi Goldberg talks about the success of it. That becomes an influencer, you know what I'm saying?
We know that they have done a lot of good. There's great studies that show decreased weight loss, better control of diabetes, better cardiovascular risk. You're less likely to get heart attacks on this, whether you're diabetic or not. But there are rare risks, and aspiration pneumonia is one of them, and we can likely or possibly decrease it by going off of it before. We still don't know that definitively, but you know, hopefully it is. Talk to your healthcare provider if you're on one of these.
Dr. T, it's always great to see you. Have a great Friday. Thanks.